Hey guys, if you're already online, hi and welcome. We're just going to give it about another minute or so for our fashionably late viewers to join us. But if you are already joining us, thank you so much for coming on today. Thank you for continuing to support us in this new virtual advocacy space that we have launched. So your support really means a lot. So we won't be long to get into it, just a couple, about 30 seconds left to go, and then I'll get into it. If you are joining us online, please say hi. I'd love to see you guys. There is a bit of a delay when you are commenting or messaging, guys. So if I don't get to you straight away, hopefully eventually it will pop up. Quick tip as well, if you are listening and watching and you can't hear me, sometimes you've got to click on the actual video so that the sound comes on. So yeah, if I'm muted, that might be what's happening. Hey Izzy, thank you for joining us right before your movie. And we will kick it off. So everyone, hi and welcome to our Being Broke is No Joke live stream. At our last Facebook live session, I did ask everyone to give me some suggestions on some of the topics that you'd love to talk about in this forum, and we actually had an overwhelming response from people that they wanted to discuss the financial assistance guide. So that is what we are going to be speaking about today. Just so you guys know, I won't actually be going over it in minute details. What I will be doing is giving you an overview of what it is and where you can find it. Because the key message that I do want you guys to take away from today, and I want you to go home with, is that you do need to download a copy of the financial assistance guide. You need to download a copy of the Carer Handbook, and make sure that you've taken the time to go through that yourself as well. It's important that you know what you're entitled to, because knowledge is your greatest strength, and you won't know what you're entitled to if you don't know what you can ask for. So if you don't already have the financial assistance guide, please make sure that you do download it. If you don't know where to, we have included a link that is in our description box that tells you where you can go to download that. Because it is an overview, it does mean that I will be leaving plenty of time at the end of today's session for questions, and there'll be a bit of a Q&A session. But ask them at any time. It just means that at the end I'll try and get to all of them as much as possible. And hey guys, no question is a dumb question, so please ask any question. I don't want this to turn into me talking at you. The reason why we have started these Facebook Live sessions is so we can actually have a conversation, especially for those of you who can't actually make it into the office during standard work hours to have that conversation with me. So please don't be shy, and if any time you want to ask a question, just throw it out. No question is a dumb question. Even though I do like to think that I know everything, I don't. So if there is a question where I don't know the answer, I'll make sure I do find it for you and commit to finding the answer for you at the end of this and follow up with you. Okay, so let's get into it. So the financial assistance guide, for those of you who don't know what it is a guide that explains all the different payments available to carers, and also explains what you have to pay for and also what Territory Families has to pay for. Once upon a time, the financial assistance guide used to look like this, and it was called the Who Pays Guide. So that is what most of you guys will know it as, but it is now called the Financial Assistance Guide. And it looks like this. But you'll notice that this is a lot thicker. That is because this is actually the Carer Handbook. It's a new, fresh and updated handbook that not only contains the financial assistance guide, but it also has other resources in there that you can access that acts as a day-to-day guide to help you in your caring journey. If you don't have a copy, please follow the link that's in our description box to download yourself a copy. The financial assistance guide in the Carer Handbook you will find on page 86, or look for the yellow part in your handbook. So the first couple of pages, it does talk about the types of allowances you can get, which is your standard care allowance, which is paid fortnightly, a complexity allowance, and that is paid if your child has been assessed as having greater or more complex needs. You're also entitled to a respite care allowance and remote care allowance. After it explains that, it then goes into what you, the carer, are required to pay for. And guys, just understand it's what you as the carer are required to pay for with the money that Territory Families has allocated to you. This can be things like food, personal care items like nappies, deodorants, routine doctor's visits, and even normal everyday travel costs. From there on, it then goes into what Territory Family pays for. And guys, I cannot stress enough that you need to go through this guide. You need to download a copy and go through this guide. I've come across many carers who are paying for things that they don't have to, in large because they don't actually know that they don't have to pay for it. Luella Susan, I just want to give a quick shout out to Luella. Thank you for joining us, who's actually posted the handbook link there. So for anyone who is joining us or watching, please follow the link that Luella has posted. So yes, I also want to flag to you guys that even though Territory Families can cover additional expenses, you must get prior approval from them to before going out and buying things. So for example, Territory Families, they can actually pay for computers or laptops if your child needs it for study, but you need to have the discussion with your case manager first. So don't go out and buy a $10,000 computer and then expect that exorbitant cost to be covered straight away. You need to have the conversation with your case manager first. So talk to your case manager, get prior approval, and most importantly, get that approval in writing. So on top of all of this, you also get assistance from the Northern Territory Government for some really cool stuff. So this includes things like sports vouchers, learning to swim vouchers, and back to school vouchers. So the guide actually goes through in more detail about how you can access and claim these vouchers. Again, guys, and I'll repeat it like a broken record, you need to get this guide to find out how you can get access to all this cool stuff. For example, the back to school vouchers, if you have a child in care from transition up until year 12, in term 1 you actually get a $150 voucher each year to buy things that they need for school. So that can be school books, uniforms, stationery. It can even help with camp. So please make sure, if you don't know about it, you can find it in the financial assistance guide. Then you can also get assistance from the Australian government. So that's all the kind of stuff like your childcare benefits, your family tax benefits, Medicare and healthcare cards, and all that cool stuff. So that, in a nutshell, guys, is what the actual financial assistance guide is. And so, like I said, it was just an overview, a quick overview of what it is, especially for those of you who don't know what it is and where you can find it. With the whole purpose of letting you know that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on my advocate hat, which I wear 24/7 anyway. And as your advocate, I want to let you know if you are experiencing any difficulties with all that we've spoken about, please let me know. If you're not getting something that you're entitled to, please don't just sit there and think that that's okay. The title of today's session is Being Broke is No Joke. And yes, it's a really cool, catchy catchphrase, but we're actually 100% serious. It's not okay if you are sitting there struggling, so you need to let me know. We can help in many different spaces. For example, I've had a carer before who was actually being paid the incorrect complexity rates and was being paid that incorrect rate for about 4 to 5 months and was struggling to get their back pay. So what we did is we helped this carer, we helped them request it, and we actually were able to get that back pay for them within a matter of 2 weeks after we helped them along. We've had another carer as well who actually did seek prior approval from their case manager to purchase something, but then we're having trouble getting the reimbursements. And again, we were able to help in that space. So if you are having any difficulties, guys, at all, then please email me at info@fkca.org.au. And I will arrange a time to speak with you. Those details, all my contact details, you'll be able to find in the description box. Or message us or comment below in the comments box, whatever's easiest for you. We will see it and we'll arrange time to chat with you. So yes, like I said, that is a nutshell what the financial assistance guide is. I'm just going to leave some time now for just some questions. So I'll just go through and see if we did get any. And if you have got a question and you haven't asked it yet, now is your time to do so. So I'm just going to run through those questions now. Thank you, Luella. We love doing the online forums. We think it's a great way to reach people, again, that don't get to come in during our standard office hours, or even who might live in more remote areas and are unable to actually get here. So yeah, we love these too. And thanks a lot for coming on and joining us today. So, great question we just had is, what other sections are in the new handbook? So I'll let you guys know what is here. So, especially if you're a new carer, it talks about becoming a kinship or foster carer. Then there's a part in there that talks about what happens when a child or young person comes into care. So that's the kind of things about preparing to welcome a child or young person, helping them to settle in, making sure that you've got the correct information. So that's things like your essential information records, your care plans, also your placement agreements. So that's a really awesome section in there. There's also a guide in there about day-to-day care. So it talks about the life storybook, how to document important information, what to do in your day-to-day life, safety, how to deal with difficult behaviours, and just how to deal with family access and family contact as well. Luella has just said, which I'm about to, which is our next section, she said cultural info section is really handy. Definitely is. So that's right after your day-to-day care section. Then it goes into your cultural information. It talks about non-Aboriginal carers, cultural ceremonies for Aboriginal children in care, information there to help with parents, and it also has something that I think is really important for everyone to read about racism and bullying. Then there's a section on children and young people with disabilities, health and well-being. So some of the topics in health and well-being is consent for medical and dental treatment, immunisation, how to get your healthcare cards, how to deal with bonding and attachment, and also self-esteem. We move into education and schooling. It's another section in the Carer Handbook. Talks about compulsory school age, school fees, and what you can get. That's also in the financial assistance guide, what kind of contributions you can get for there. So you'll find that in both sections. And then there's the end of placement section in there as well. That also talks about reunification. What happens if they're planning, if your child in care is planning to move from your care, what if they don't want to move from your care, how to plan for them moving out of your care, how to say goodbye, and how to keep in contact as well. Just because a child is leaving your care doesn't always mean that you have to cut off all contact. There is a section on your leaving and aftercare. So it's leaving and aftercare information for carers, and also leaving and aftercare information for young people. Then there is a section on support services for carers, children and young people. So that includes respite care. And so we said earlier that there is, even for in the financial assistance guide, you do get respite care allowance. So that's when if you do need to go away or you need to take some time for yourself, which is okay to do, and we encourage you to do that, then you can actually have your child be looked after by a respite carer. And that has more information on that. Talks about advocacy for carers, and that's where I come in. And then our next session, which we've already gone through in detail, a bit more detail today, was the foster and kinship carer financial assistance guide. And then resources is your final part. So the resources section in there just talks about more help and the full range of help that you can get from the Australian government, and also where to go if you want to submit a complaint, but also where to go if you want to submit a compliment, guys, which is just important as just as important as your complaint. So, like I said, this is a brilliant day-to-day guide to really help you in your caring journey. So really, some really awesome stuff in there. Did anyone else have any other questions? Or if I haven't said hi already, please say hello. Be great to see who we have joining online today. So Luella, thank you. Luella's just included a link there about NDIS. If you're unsure of what that is, guys, let me know. Private message us, something that we can discuss with you further, although Luella does have a link that is included there. Hi, Stacey. Thanks so much for joining us. So the process, Stacey, is 12 to 14 weeks from the moment you submit an expression of interest form to when you are approved. So, Stacey, if you are having any trouble at all, or if that has taken longer than the standard 12 to 14 weeks, please let me know, or I can actually, if you want me to give you a call tomorrow and have a chat with you, just comment or private message and say, hey, can we chat? Because it's, 12 to 14 weeks is your standard time. Thank you for the awesome question, Cheryl. Cheryl has asked, can people book for individual sessions with me like this at any other time of the day? You definitely can, guys. What I would even love you to do is let me know if this Facebook session at 6:30 to 7, does that actually work for you guys? Do you think it works for carers? It could be dinner time for a lot of you guys, so if it doesn't work, let us know other times that are more suitable. But if you actually want to do a one-on-one appointment with me, and we can do that through Facebook, we can do that through Skype, in other ways, we can do that. Let me know, and if it's especially when a time that's more suitable for you. It doesn't have to be after our after 4 o'clock. If you need earlier than 8 o'clock, I can definitely do that. And then one day we'll meet and you'll need to shout me a coffee, but I can definitely do that. So yes, thanks, Cheryl. Stacey, so we'll definitely, Stacey, I'm going to give you a call tomorrow. If you don't mind just commenting on here whether or not, oh no, I've got that. We'll give you a call tomorrow, Stacey. So if you can just private message me your number, we're going to give you a call and we'll help you through that, because that is definitely too long. Hey, Luella, all ages. We definitely need all ages. We do have a information session that is coming up next Tuesday from 5 to 6 o'clock. That's here at our office, which is at 25 Damabilla Drive in Lyons. And in that information session, we'll actually talk a little bit about types of things like ages, and if you do have a preference, which, you know, sometimes depending on your work hours and all that kind of stuff, you might not be able to take certain ages. You can actually let let us know that and include that in your application. So yeah, if you want to find out more information for that, come along to our information session next Tuesday, and we'll talk more through that. Yeah, Luella, we love the flexibility of this as well. You know, it's amazing the stuff that we can do with technology, and we're really aware that we have a lot of carers, and so again, like I've said earlier, we're really aware that not everyone can reach us during standard office hours, so we want to make sure our services are available to everyone. We have carers and members who are shift workers, so we want to do what we can to really help you guys out. So, got a couple more minutes left in this session, guys, so if you do have any more questions, please definitely let me know. Hey Luella, where do you live? Whereabouts? I don't think I've met you. It would be great to meet you. Awesome, Stacey. Yep. Message us your details, and I'll give you a call tomorrow, and we'll talk it through. Yes. Good old Palmy. I'm a Palmy girl too. Palmerston is where it's at. Hey Luella, for those who haven't just yet, Luella did say it is difficult to get in sometimes from Palmerston. And it is something that she has been discussing for a number of years. Just so you know as well, we do have our information session that I was talking about that's happening next Tuesday in our Lions office. We do sometimes hold them in Palmerston. So make sure you keep an eye out on our Facebook page and have a look at any time it talks about our information sessions or our expressions of interest sessions to become a foster carer. That's not always in Lions. We can change the location of that to suit you so that it's easier for you to get there. Our last one last month that we did was in the Palmerston Library. So we can definitely do that to help out the cool kids in Palmerston. Hey Natalie, you just said that you really need cultural experience for your foster son, which is hard to come by. I will give you a call tomorrow, Natalie, and we'll talk through what options are available for you and how we can help you in that space. And even if you can, Natalie, please just private message us your best contact details and the best time to contact you, and we'll follow up with you tomorrow. Hey Veronica, thank you so much for joining. So it does take, the standard time that it does take to become a registered foster carer is 12 to 14 weeks, and that includes from the time that you submit your expression of interest until you get your registration approval. If you have already submitted an expression of interest and you haven't heard anything and it's been over 12 or 14 weeks, please let me know. We had a carer who did say earlier that it's been quite some time, so I'm going to catch up with her tomorrow and help out in that space. But Veronica, if that's something you're experiencing as well, please let me know, and or private message us your contact details and best time to contact you, and we'll call you tomorrow and speak to you about that one. But if you are interested in just becoming a foster carer and you're not yet a foster carer and you haven't submitted any documents, we have an information session here at our office next Tuesday at 5 o'clock till 6. So we still got a couple more minutes, guys, so I'm going to hang on and stay on. Just for anyone else who does have any more questions. For those of you who might just be joining us, we spoke about the Financial Assistance Guide, or what some of you might know as the Who Pays Guide. It's a new Who Pays Guide. It's part of the new Carer Handbook. So if you have any questions about anything like that, and you missed most of the session beforehand, please let me know. If you did miss this in the live stream format, we do download it and save it so that you can access it later. So you'll be able to re-watch this later on. Okay, so Natalie, if you're still joining us, Natalie, Luella has just posted a really great suggestion regarding how her children and her family get involved in cultural activities. And it looks like you do that through various sporting organisation. Hey, Luella. And just all these great suggestions you have, guys, like some of this stuff. So, Luella, it's possible that Natalie doesn't know about that, or the sporting organisations that you join or what you get involved in. This morning we actually had a Carer Connect event, carer parent morning tea at the Play Shack. And we're actually going to be running that every fortnight. So it is a great way, if you are available, to actually come along to those and get to meet each other and actually talk this kind of stuff out. You know, we have some carers who are in the process of still getting registered. We have some members who have been carers for about 15 years. So there's a wealth of information between all of you guys that you can get together and actually, you know, learn from each other. So our first one was this morning, and we'll have another one in another fortnight's time. So keep a lookout on our Facebook page because it will tell you all the details of our next one. No, Luella, you sound like fun. I'm going to come to the next Carer Connection event so we can meet. So I've got about a minute left, guys. So if you have anything else you want to ask or add, please let me know. Hey Natalie, we might have some really good suggestions for you. I'll go through them for you, and what we have that can help with all that kind with your painting and dancing and all that cultural stuff. So I'll have a look at it tomorrow morning, and then I'll give you a call and let you know. Natalie, are you from Catherine? I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sure what's available in Catherine, but we'll find out. Hey, Luella, come along. The best way to find out about carers and the caring experience, and even if you want to actually do it, or if you're able to do it, or is to come along to our carer parent group, have a chat to our carers, find out what their schedules are like. Just because you're busy doesn't mean you'll be rejected. We want to give children a normal family life, family environment, and if sport is your everyday, that's completely normal. All families do that, and we want all kids to have that experience. So that doesn't mean you'll be rejected because you have a busy schedule. It just means you're a completely normal family. Hey Natalie, I'll definitely look at find out what's available in Catherine, and I'm coming up or down. I'm coming to Catherine within the next couple of months, and I'll confirm that time with you. Check our Facebook as well. We'll let you guys know when we're coming up next, because we'd love to meet you. And Natalie, just so you know as well, being that you are from Catherine doesn't mean you don't have access to our advocacy services. Even better for you is that if you want to do this, you've had a few questions already and a few things that you've pointed out that you don't actually have access to or you would like. If you want to organise a time for later in the week or even tomorrow for us to connect through Skype, or we use a program called Blue Jeans, and I can help you with getting Blue Jeans set up as well. And arrange an appointment with me to talk through everything that you're needing. If it's not just the cultural stuff, and there's other stuff that you actually want help with, let's arrange a time to actually chat that through. Hey Brooks. Thanks for joining, Brooks. Okay guys, so that brings me to the end of today's session. Thank you so much for joining me today, but there are a couple of things that I would love you to do. So first, I think I said it earlier, if this time slot is not working for you, please suggest other times to run these live streams that may work better. Even if you comment on it now, I can see it later because we do save this video for later. Also, don't forget to like and follow this, because firstly, it makes me feel cool about myself, and more importantly, it means that the more likes we get, the more follows we get, it means we get the more people to see it, and the more people that see it, it means the more people we can reach and help out. So please make sure you are liking, following, loving, showing some love on here, because it really does help a lot of other carers and members there as well. Have the best week, guys. Thank you so much again for joining. I will see you again at our next Facebook Live session, which is on the 24th of April. Same time, same place. Thanks so much. We'll chat to you guys later.